Yay Networks.
Welcome back to Bees In with Brit. I'm your host, Brit Madrid-Mogensen, and today we are going to talk about everything that you need to know cosmically for your calendar so that you can end the year strong and so that you know what to expect in 2023. There's going to be a lot going on, as always, and I can't wait to tell you guys these dates because when you know what's going on in the stars, you really can plan your life. We have so many real life examples. We'll have to have some people call in and share what's gone on for them. But I have so many real world examples of when people have had things pop up when they made a little note on their calendar that, Mercury's going to go retrograde or this is going to happen, that's going to happen. And it's crazy that it comes true. So we're going to get into all of that so that you guys are prepared and you can really take advantage of all the good things coming. All right. So let's first talk about where we are right now. So we are right at the tail end of Sagittarius season. And Sagittarius season, of course, falls during Christmas. And you know what? It is not surprising because Sagittarius energy is all about like the celebration. So if you think about the whole year as like a big production, well, when we get to Sagittarius season, that's like the wrap party. So that's when everybody maybe drinks a little too much. You're going to tie one on, you have a good time, you're talking to your friends, you're more social. You're just enjoying this feeling of like relief. And it's like, okay, it's time to have fun now. Like the hard work is done. So that's where we are right now. And the way that we experience that is different depending on your zodiac sign. Like some people just thrive in Sagittarius season. Other people are like, I don't feel very aligned with this. Like if you're a water sign or an earth sign, sometimes you need a little bit of, a little bit of motivation. You need your friends to like pull you out. But obviously, once you get out there, Sagittarius season is just a good time. So let's talk about things like Sagittarius season fashion, celebs, and all of the good vibes that you can channel to really make the most of like the end of the year. Okay, and we'll talk about that right after this break. Let's talk about Sagittarius season fashion and style and how to really use the most of this wrap party energy this season. So, Sagittarius season starts November 22nd and it lasts until December 21st. And basically, during this season, you can expect things to be a little bit more fun. I mean, it's just quintessential holiday energy, right? Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it's all about like being social, getting out there, dressing up. It's actually really fun to think about the style and like the fashion of Sagittarius energy because every single zodiac sign has like a style and a color palette that's associated with that sign. And it's really fun because Sagittarius energy is kind of like the showgirl vibe. So let's talk about Britney Spears, for example. Like Britney Spears in her heyday, she would always wear these very glamorous outfits on stage, right? Think about like when she did the I'm a Slave for You thing and she had the snake and like the green and the jewels. And when she wore like the red jumpsuit, when she wore like just full sparkles all over her body, very Sagittarius energy. So these people tend to be very much about putting on a show. But what's funny about them is that when it's like not time to be out and about, like in their day to day life, they tend to really, really dress down. So they dress a little bit more athletic. And remember, like early 2000s when Britney Spears would always wear like the trucker hats. I'm not saying you have to wear a trucker hat right now, but if you have one and you want to wear one and bring it back, this is the time because this is when we really are like on the go. So if you let your style adjust to the season, not only are you going to be able to kind of get into the energy better, but it's probably something you're going to naturally gravitate towards anyway. Like for me, when I'm busy, 1000%, it's going to be like an athleisure outfit during the day and it's going to be super glam at the holiday party, right? So just know if that's how you're dressing, you're in alignment. So wear those sweats, honey, and wear them proudly. Now, if you have certain other placements in Sagittarius, you may want to keep this vibe going all year long. So if you have Sagittarius rising, if you have a Sagittarius placement in Venus or Mars, That means that this really is probably going to be a part of your look overall. You're probably going to feel your best when you are exuding this adventurous, fiery energy. And like I said, that definitely extends to like what you're wearing, your color palette. So let's talk about some different styles that we can all gravitate towards during this season to really be in that Sagittarius style. Okay. So like anything for daytime that is more athletic, right? So think about like jumpsuits, anything that's quick to get on, quick to take off. You have that fire sign energy. Sagittarius is an adventurer. So you want something that's easy so that you can really stay on the go and keep up with the momentum. Nothing that you really have to overthink. So pants that really feel comfortable. You can go for like more of a baggy jean look right now. If you're into like the boyfriend jeans, that would be perfect. Chunky boots are very Sagittarius, like, definitely a nice, like, glitzy, maybe a high heel, some embellishment for evening, but for daytime, if you're not gonna be wearing sneakers, the classic Sagittarius look is a thick, chunky heel, and I have a little story about that. So, I have Sagittarius as my rising sign, which means that's just, like, naturally how I dress. Like, right now, I'm wearing, like, a one-piece jumpsuit if you guys are watching on YouTube, and I got it specifically for this episode because I was like, "Ooh, an excuse to dress like a Sagittarius and to buy something." No, but it's so funny because ever since I was, like, in high school, I would get these shoes that were like, I don't know if y'all remember that like Mia brand. It was like a I don't even think it still exists, but it was like this chunky shoe, like a chunky heel. And I would always get these black like booties that had a really thick heel because they felt sturdy and like stable. And I could like, get shit done, but I felt cute and I had a little bit of height. And I kind of kept that going. And when I started dating my husband, I had these shoes that were like super thick, chunky heels. I don't even remember the brand, and he would call them my clod hoppers because they were, like, so, like, thick, and they'd make this, like, sound when I walked, and I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, those are I was like, "I just love them," and so he bought me it's so sweet of him. He bought me, like, some Christian Louboutin clod hopper I still call them my clod hoppers, but they're very elegant now. So I still rock the Sagittarius rising, big, thick, chunky boot. I guess I've just, like, upgraded or it's grown up with me. But I laughed out loud when I was doing some research and I read that, like, most Sagittarius people naturally are gonna gravitate towards that because literally that's been, like, a part of my DNA for forever. So, okay, when we come back, we are gonna talk about what's coming next and how you can transition into Capricorn season to really get shit done and to start setting your New Year's intentions. Let's talk about what happens when the party starts to wind down and we move into Capricorn season. Now, it's still a good time, right? We still have fun, but things totally change from Sagittarius season to Capricorn season. And when I tell you the dates and the vibe, you're going to totally be like, "Yes, I experience this every year." So, Capricorn season goes from December 22nd through January 19th. Let's call this our Ice Queen era. So if the Sagittarian energy was showgirl vibes slash athleisure during the day, on the go busy, once we get into the Capricorn energy, this is going to be more of like an Ice Queen aesthetic. So one Capricorn rising that used to do this like style wise all the time, and now she's definitely changed it up. But Megan Fox is actually a Capricorn rising. So, one of the best examples of how to dress like a Capricorn is so she made this like one appearance on a talk show. Maybe we can find it if you guys are watching on YouTube. Maybe we can pop the photo up. She wore this gray, very, very tailored, but really classic shaped like dress, but it had little, like, cap sleeves on it, and there was, like, a little bit of a push-up around, like, the bustier area, and it really nipped in at the waist, and it was, like, a midi skirt, so it came right below the knee, but it looked so good. Like, I literally, when I saw this dress, it was burned into my brain. I was like, "This is one of the best outfits I've ever seen." It looked polished, it looked classic, it looked classy but sexy. So that is, like, quintessential Capricorn style. And the reason that we switch to more of a classic style is because This is the energy of the wrap party's over. We are starting anew because obviously New Year's, right? We're starting anew around this time of year. And it's kind of like you come back down to earth and you're like, okay, now we're starting fresh again. What are we going to do? So you put on like your business suit, you put on your more polished style, you put on your thinking cap and you kind of get down to business around this time. So when we come back from this break, I'm going to tell you how to set up those New Year's resolutions during Capricorn season. Do not be one of those people that does it during Sagittarius season. All right, I'm going to tell you why. When it comes to setting up our New Year's resolutions, I know some people are like, I don't do New Year's resolutions. Some people, are all about it. I would say for the people who don't do New Year's resolutions, it's probably because they've like failed in the past. And you guys, I'm just going to say, I think it's because we as a society set our resolutions during Sagittarius season. We set them up during the party when we're like, when you're drinking and you're just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, I mean, metaphorically drinking. So when it comes to getting resolutions that actually align with like what we want and what we're capable of, like in reality, right? Grounded in our reality, not like this idealistic idea of what we would like things to be. I'm telling you, if you start setting those New Year's resolutions in Capricorn season, and I'm going to say specifically this year during the Capricorn new moon that we have December 20, let's see, December 23rd. The energy of that is so grounded and there's so much potential prosperity in this Capricorn season and specifically in that new moon in Capricorn on the 23rd. If you set those intentions, you might become one of those people who's like, okay, now I set my intentions every year during Capricorn season. Here's why. When Capricorn season comes along, like I said, the vibe changes, right? We get more serious, we're more grounded, but also Capricorn energy is about making things happen. It's about success. Capricorns are known for being like the boss of the zodiac, and they just know how to get things done. It's just a more serious energy. And it's not like it's bad or boring compared to Sagittarius season. Some people feel like, oh, like, oh, it's a letdown. Now we got to get down to business. Capricorn is all about like your legacy and what you're building. So there is still this idea during Capricorn season of looking at things from a bird's eye view. You still want to think of like the big picture, and then you want to set up your goals for 2023 from that perspective. So a really good time to do like your reflecting and to start journaling or thinking about what you may want to manifest or like what new habits you may want to start implementing for 2023 would be the week leading up to that December 23rd new moon. Because the thing about new moons is once they hit, you have literally 2 weeks, you guys, only 2 weeks. There's this window of energy that opens for 2 weeks. And during that time period, if you start to set up the habits, you start to like sow the seeds, is what a lot of astrologers say. You sow the seeds at the new moon so that you can reap them later at a full moon. I mean, it's just kind of like the cycle that we go through. If you, let's say you're doing all your reflecting at the end of, right after Christmas, you're thinking about it, you're still a little bit hungover on New Year's, like don't beat yourself up. You're still kind of in the Sagittarius season energy, getting it out of your system. Once we get up to that December 23rd, I'm sorry. Once it's like right, my dates. Sorry, you guys. There's so many dates. I'm trying to think of all the dates. Okay. Let me back up here. So as you start to lead up to the new moon in Capricorn on that 23rd, that's when you just want to do all of the planning. That's when you want to start taking the action. So let's say you want to start working out in 2023 or whatever. Start doing that on the morning of December 23rd, even if you don't really want to, because the momentum and the staying power that Capricorn has it's going to infuse any of your intentions and any of your actions with more success from the universe. Like you're going to have the support that you need to make it happen. So just put a star on that date, whatever it is for you, especially in the realms of like money, hard work, but the kind of hard work that pays off. So if there's anything big that you want to restructure, redo, or change, this is going to be a really good time during Capricorn season. So I would say party it up, enjoy, and then get those intentions set from, that December 21st Capricorn season all the way until you hit January 20th. Like that's really when you want to focus on the new habits, the new foundation for the new year, and that's how you'll be successful. Guys, it's just the cosmic way. Please try it and let me know if it works because I love to see people like have the backing of the universe when they're trying to make big changes or trying to make things happen. Okay, so speaking of big changes and things happening, overall for 2023, like the big picture is, of course, another year of transformation, but this year is going to be a little bit different because listen up, all my Aquarians out there, because Pluto is going to be moving from Pisces into Aquarius. You know how everybody's been talking about like the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius, this and that. Well, it's beginning. Okay, this is when it really starts. And the first transit of Pluto in Aquarius, put this on your calendar, especially if you're in Aquarius, will be from March 23rd, 2023 until June 11th, 2023. And then it's going to like weave in and out from Aquarius to Pisces. Like it's going to kind of bounce back and forth for a while there. But the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius was during the Industrial Revolution. So that means that this is going to be a time of major change and major transformation. And if you are an Aquarius, you are going to feel like you're at the forefront of this change. Aquarian energy is all about like innovation, technology, being a leader, thinking outside the box, not being afraid to push the envelope. And that kind of energy is going to really be praised. Like those people that embody like that forward thinking momentum, that energy of like not being afraid to step outside the box. Those are the people that are going to be like on the success wavelength in 2023. And especially during that March to June time period. So even if you're not an Aquarius, if there is something that you have been wanting to do, if there's something that you felt like you want to take a chance on, or, you know, especially when it comes to like technology or anything that like is broadcast out to the masses, when Pluto enters into Aquarius during that time period of change, that's when you can really be a part of like the next wave. We can also expect to see a lot of changes in like technology and like apps and things like that. So I've been seeing a lot of TikTok like videos about like how the TikTok trends are changing. And my friend Raven and I were talking about it the other night. And because she's really big into like technology and stuff. And she always like gives me the tea on what's going on. And we were talking about these TikTok videos that we saw where everyone is saying that in 2023, the new perspective that is going to be kind of like rising to the top is going to be people being authentic, but in a way that is not seen as like performative or trying too hard. Anyway, it was like this whole deep dive analysis, but basically putting yourself out there in a way that lets people know that you're being like truly yourself. Aquarius is all about like the people. It's a sign of like the people, right? So let's think about it like this. Aquarius and Leo are opposites. Leo is like performance. Leo is on stage. Leo is being the star of the show. Aquarius, the opposite of Leo, is about the people being one with everyone else. It is the humanitarian. It's like we all share the same vibe, the same heart. So people who embody that humanitarian aspect, who aren't trying to like be above things, who are really just able to show themselves flaws and all, and not like pretending to, where like, it seems like some people have gotten a little bit performative where they're just trying to like look like they're trying to like look like they're kind of like everyone else, but really they're out of touch. This is going to be a time when people who are authentic and truly like want good for others, that's going to rise to the top. I think it's a great thing. And I'm really excited to see this trend start to take shape and for people to just kind of find more unity. So that's going to be a big transformation in 2023 that I think we can all look forward to. And Aquarians, yeah, get ready. You guys are going to be transforming in a whole new way. Any area of your life that you feel like you've been dissatisfied with, I would make sure to write down those dates, March 23rd to June 11th, because you're going to be able to really turn things around. Pluto is the biggest transformer in the zodiac. So this is the time to make those big changes. Okay. When we come back, we are going to talk about a couple more things to put on your calendar. Of course, no astrology report would be complete without another Mercury retrograde. You guys. Okay, so before you're like, no, please, I will say we have one more. We're going to have many more, you guys. Mercury retrograde, fun fact, is actually Mercury's in retrograde 18% of the time. Fun fact I found online. So don't worry. Like, we've been through so many Mercury retrogrades and we're going to go through so many more. It's not that big of a deal, but it is helpful to know when they're happening and like what sign they're happening in, because then you can know like the themes and how to use it, like what to look out for, and like really how to take advantage of it, because there are good things too about retrogrades. So the last retrograde of the year that's going to go on into 2023 is the December 29th Mercury retrograde in Capricorn during Capricorn season. Here we go again. That's going to last all the way until January 18th. And what's so interesting about this retrograde is that we're going to be in the Capricorn energy that I just described, right? We're going to be kind of in our little business mode. Hopefully you're wearing like your cute Megan Fox rising business suit so that, you look good while you're dealing with all this crap. And we're going to be like getting stuff done, making our plans. We're going to be more disciplined during this time. Then Mercury's going to go retrograde in Capricorn right during that time period. And we are going to have an opportunity to rethink, rework, redo. Mercury retrograde is everything redo anything in that area of our lives, that Capricorn area. So anything that has to do with our discipline, our habits, our goals, anything we want to achieve, any sort of legacy we want to leave, like anything that we want to build that we feel like we haven't built yet as part of our, let's say our empires, because we each have our own empire, we're each a star in our own right. So whatever it is for you that you feel like maybe it's a dream that you've had that you just haven't put into action yet. Maybe it's something that you've been trying to do for years that you just haven't gotten off the ground yet. This time period is really, really special because there's going to be a lot of support here to rethink and then actually take action and set up a system or a habit or a schedule in your life to bring these ideas into reality. That's what Capricorn is. It's like the step by step things that need to happen to make an abstract dream become real in our present reality. It's an earth sign. So this retrograde period is going to be a time that you can actually use to your advantage instead of getting like, let's say, there probably will be a few frustrations, that's kind of how it works. But the purpose is not to frustrate you or to like make your life harder. The reason is that the universe kind of has to like knock you off your course so that you will like stop and take a look around. It's like, let's pretend like you're on a train and the train breaks down and you end up in this little town that's just like so quaint and fabulous and you never would have stopped there before, and you end up having this wonderful experience that changes your life and you see things from a new perspective. That in a nutshell is what Mercury retrograde is supposed to be. And it gets a bad rap because of course, we're human. We think, oh my God, the train broke down. That's so annoying, right? So I encourage you, especially during this really special retrograde that's going to happen on the heels of a new moon in Capricorn during Capricorn season. Like, I love it. It's so exciting. You can use this. So again, however you like to process things, if you're a journaler, this is the time to journal. If you just like to daydream and think things up or have conversations with your friends that you trust about your dreams and goals, this is just a really good time to generate those ideas and to get yourself on the path that really feels aligned for you. And then I would say don't really put those things into action if you can wait, like if you can hold off a little bit until after January 18th when Mercury goes direct. Now, I would say not on, okay, not on January 18th. Put a little mark on your calendar because that's the day that Mercury goes direct. Any day that a planet goes direct, it's kind of like when they're changing signs or changing direction, they get a little wobbly. So leave some space around the 18th. I would say really beginning of February is probably the best time to actually take those actions. But technically, Mercury will be out of retrograde once it goes direct January 18th. I know that's kind of a lot of information, but I will say, like, I have noticed in my own life that during the shadow period, like, even though on my calendar it'll say Mercury direct on this day, I've noticed like I'm still kind of doing some cleanup, you know, during like the shadow period. So give it a little bit of space. And I'd say beginning of February, put those anything that you redid, or like if you want to redo like a rebranding or something, like that's really when you want to put it out there, like with confidence and with all of like the new systems that you put in place to make it successful. And oh, okay. And then last but not least, of course, the end of the year, everybody always wants to know, like, what's New Year's Eve going to look like this year? Like, because it's such a fun time to get out and about. And sometimes, I mean, sometimes the stars are just not great on New Year's. Like sometimes it's better to stay in certain New Year's Eves. I'm going to tell you, I'm so happy to let you know that this is not one of those years. On December 31st, there's actually a lot of like romantic placements going on in the stars. So if you are coupled up, this would be a really great time to like do something romantic, have like a romantic getaway or go to a party and dress up and have fun. Or if you are not in a relationship and you're single, be on the lookout because this is a really good night when I think a lot of people are actually going to meet someone that they could get into a relationship with. And because it's during Capricorn season, remember it's that foundation, it's that earth, that grounded energy. It could be long lasting. So be ready. Manifest that love. Go ahead and start now, start putting out the vibes, start thinking positively, and just know that New Year's Eve could be a really good time to meet somebody. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you have an amazing end of the year and that your 2023 is filled with lots of love and blessings. Thank you for listening. And yeah, let me know what you guys are experiencing. If you have had anything crazy happening during any of those dates, I would love to hear your experience. You can DM me at BZenTV or at Brit Madrid, and I will see you guys next time.